Hello. So we've downloaded the software, we've set up a user account, and we've signed into the software. That's great. You can close the software down now, and it'll forever be on your computer. And when you then receive an email invite to the meeting, when you press a link on that invite, you'll automatically be signed in, and the program will start automatically, and all that good stuff will happen. So um, because we've done all the legwork, when you press the link from now on in, you should seamlessly just go into the meeting room, and that's it. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm also going to show you some tips and tricks for actually in the meeting itself. So first things first, we get the meeting invite and we press the hyperlink. That'll open a browser, which will then ask you to open up the application. We'll press open Zoom, and it'll automatically go into the meeting room. Now, if you see your webcam here, that's all good. You can press join with video, and now we're in the room. What this little bit here is a sort of holding area. So it means that the host of the meeting isn't yet in the meeting room, or they're not quite prepared for you yet. So when they're ready to admit you, they will press the button and you'll be in the meeting room. So I've got another laptop here set up with as a host, so I'm going to press admit, and automatically you're going to be in here. The next stage is how you want to join with the audio. The easiest way to go about things is just press join with computer audio. By the way, this is assuming that you have a webcam and a microphone, or a laptop with a webcam and microphone built in. If you've got a desktop computer without those things, let me know and we can possibly get you a webcam that'll plug in via USB, and that'll solve a whole host of issues. Okay, so now we're in the meeting, and I'll talk you through what's going on here. So you can see that there's three video images and one big one. What that is the person who's basically speaking loudest will appear on the big screen, and then everyone else will appear up here at the top. It's not so much of an issue now, because there's only three of us in the room. But when there's lots of you, it can get quite crowded up here and quite difficult to see who's doing what or who's speaking. So my first top tip is going up to this gallery view here and pressing the button, and now it'll make sure that you can see everyone in a grid. So if there's 3 people or if there's 30, the windows will just get smaller and smaller and smaller, so you can see everyone. Then the next top tip thing is down here where it says mute. You can press this button and it will unmute you. It will mute you so that you can't be heard, but you can be seen in the video. I'd recommend doing this if you're not speaking, or if you've got a loud room or whatever. Just mute yourself and then unmute yourself anytime you want to say anything, and then it stops any unnecessary feedback or noise or whatever. And to unmute, you just press the button again. Easy peasy. Exact same thing with the video. You can press stop video and the sound will still be on, but the video won't, and it'll be replaced by your name in a box instead, and then you can unmute that. Okay, the next handy button is the participants button. This will show you who's in the meeting and their status of things as well, and all that sort of good stuff. But down here there's a whole load of buttons which you can press to let the host know that you've got a question, or that you're in agreement or not in agreement, you want them to go faster or slower, you want a tea break, or other things as well. What that'll do is if you press, for instance, raise hand, you can see up here that you've raised your hand, but really importantly, on the presenter screen they'll see a little icon next to your name, so they can act upon that when they feel like it's a good time to do so. They can also clear all these icons as well. So as you can see, the raised hand is still there. I'm going to press a button on the presenter's thing and it'll go away. Same sort of idea for all these other ones. So if you're asked for a consensus, you can press the button, and then it'll do a quick tally for everyone that's pressed the button on the presenter screen, and I'll show you what that looks like just now, so you get an idea. So they've got a list of people. You can see that you've pressed this button here, and there's a little tally down here. So it's a really good and quick way to get some feedback on how things are going for the presenter. The next button is the chat button, and this will open another new window. What it's done is it's shrunk the participants window and made space for the chat window. You can chat here to everybody, and when you press send, that'll show a little balloon on everybody's screens with what you're saying, and you can also chat to individuals if you wish. You can also send files, which is quite handy if you're sending I don't know, scripts or drawings or whatever. You can do that through here, so you don't need to then talk about the material that you want to send out to people and then have to do it by email. You can send it during the meeting instead, which is quite a handy thing to do. Excuse me. And that's pretty much everything. You can record the meeting if you wish, if you want to have notes for later. Press record and that'll record the meeting if it's been enabled from the hosts. There's some other good stuff as well, but it's not really important, and this is just an overview really. But if you're interested in more in-depth stuff about the Zoom app, and if you want to host a meeting and do polls or screen sharing or annotate documents and stuff like that, give me a shout and I'll be happy to do a sort of one-on-one training with you. But that's everything just now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the meeting like you would. After you're done, you press the leave meeting button, you press it again, and that's you done. You're out of the meeting. You don't need to do any further actions, but you can close the program down. You can close this browser down, and you're sorted.